animals in this place are out of control. Get out of my car! Out! Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's vlog, I'm going to be taking you guys along with Tarek and I while we go to our very first clinic. So we're doing a 2-day Liberty clinic and we're going to be camping out at the venue. I'm super excited. This will be our first ever clinic. And yeah, I'm so excited to take you guys along. So we are camping and Sarah's going to be dropping me off and then taking the car. So I'm just going to have the flow, which means I need to make sure I pack everything that we're going to need. This is my mattress. This is a mattress that I lived on when I was living in the tent. Perfect for camping. My horse is going to load into this trailer and be like, what the hell is all that stuff? I might do a little test run actually before tomorrow just to make sure that he's going to go on with that terrifying big yellow thing there and all the stuff that I've piled in. Barkley, why are you in my car? Float is packed, ready to leave bright and early in the morning. So it's Saturday, day of the clinic. It's almost 7:30. We're leaving at 8, so I'm a little bit rushing around. I've got the float pretty much packed. I do have to get some electric fence posts and a battery to set up our own fence yard. And I've got to feed Tarek. So I'm gonna go do that now. I'm gonna go bring him up. But I think I'm pretty much set to go. My treat pouch. I cut up so many carrots and little tiny pieces of licorice to use as treats. So he's gonna have a great day, I reckon. Good morning, Aragon. How are you, baby boy? Ready for your breakfast? Come on, come down this way. Don't let your brother eat that. Gotta go collect the fence posts. We only have the ones that are literally in the paddocks, so I'm just gonna have to steal some. I don't know why I'm sitting like this. That's really uncomfortable. And we're off. So this is the first time that Tarek is being floated by himself and also going to be at the clinic by himself. It's only 20 minutes away though, which is a great little short trip for him. We arrived at about 8:30. The clinic started at 9, so just time for a quick little breakfast, and then we were all in the big arena ready to do some Liberty stuff. We did a full morning of Liberty and then had a quick stop for lunch. But during the lunch break, 2 of the horses got loose, so we had to go and catch them, sneaky little buggers. And then after lunch, we all did some work in the round pen, which is great because I haven't done a lot of round pen work. I do a lot of reverse round pen work, but not round pen work. This horse was only 3 weeks off the track and he did so well. He was so chill and so connected to his owner that has only had him for a week. It was insane. Your brain fried? My brain's fried. You wanna go eat that grass? Okay, we'll go eat that grass then. Do you wanna do that? Naughty. Look, I have a friend. How about you stay there? I'll stay on this side. So obviously it is now nighttime and it is cold already, so I'm wearing my fluffy pink pajamas that I always wear, thermals and a beanie, and I also have like these, they're not thermals, but I bought them when I went to Sydney and they're just like really thick stockings. And then also my fluffy pants, and then I bought my slippers, which is fun. Anyway, ew, they look so gross in the camera. That's because I'm sleeping in a horse float. And really hope it doesn't rain because this guy, he's broken. So if you can see, yeah, so if it rains, it's coming straight in here. So fingers crossed it doesn't rain. So this is where I'm sleeping. And I also remembered to get gas canister thingies for the stove, but I forgot to bring something to cook in. So I have a plastic plate and some cutlery, and that's not gonna cook it. It's not gonna cut it to cook it. I'm just gonna have an avo, which I love. I'll eat this whole avo. Tuna. I bought this as like a backup in case something happened, and look at that, I'm using it. And this naan bread that was supposed to go with my Indian that I am not able to cook. So I'm just gonna eat. I didn't bring enough tape to make it actually electrified, and I want him to have more space. I'm just pretending it is, so that hopefully he just doesn't touch it because he thinks it's electrified. Oh, and he has a friend. I think he's a baby because he's very, very curious about everything. So this is my little bed. So everyone's going to the pub tonight, but I unfortunately have a really bad headache, and I've taken Nurofen already and it didn't even touch it. It was actually so hot today, so I think that's probably why. So that's why I opted to stay here, and I'm probably gonna go to sleep like pretty soon, even though it's only like just got dark, which means it's like 6 o'clock. I am wrecked. I think it's just from the heat. Like, it was so hot today and I just wasn't expecting that, and just being outside in the sun all day. But apparently beer is like as good a painkiller as like aspirin. They've done like studies on it, so maybe this will help my headache. I'll speak. I was very excited to like sleep in the trailer tonight with Tarek because it kind of reminds me of when I used to live in the tent. I mean, I lived in a horse shed, which was just as dirty as this trailer is. So it really takes me back. It'll be a year since I was homeless. Well, since I started being homeless. I was only stopped being homeless like maybe 7-8 months ago. But if you don't know about that, I will be doing a video on it at some point. There's a lot to unpack there, so it's going to be a whole video. And the light is attracting the bugs. Didn't really think about that. So day 1 of the clinic, honestly, Tarek did way better than I expected. I went into this clinic knowing that it's everything they use is negative reinforcement, which is pressure and release, right? So, you know, it's about making the horse uncomfortable a little bit until they get the right answer, and then the right answer is comfier than the wrong answer, right? And we've done a little bit of negative reinforcement, but not a lot. Like, most of our training and our learning is positive reinforcement because it's just easier, works better, in my opinion. And so I went into this clinic with treats, right? I didn't use my clicker though. And I was just like, I'm just going to bring them in, and I'm just going to see if there's a place that I think would be beneficial for me to use them during this clinic, right? Surprisingly, yeah, it was super helpful to help Tarek understand what it is that we were doing and what the right answer was, because when he gets the food, he knows, okay, that was the right answer. Like, I just had to do that again, right? Which helps them understand what you want, and so they learn quicker, and there's less like anxiety because they're like not like wondering what it is that you want. Like, it's a definitive like, yep, that's it, that's the thing that I want. And so he did really, really well with everything. I think like we did doing side passes. There was one thing that we did where you like flick the whip and your horse will come to you. And Josh, who's the guy that's running the clinic, Josh Knight, he was like, you know, this will be really helpful for you because during your performance, Tarek just left and you need something to get him back. And I'm like, this is a really good point. But I don't really know how I feel about, like, he did the thing, but he was doing it definitely from a place of like a bit of fear to start with. And I reckon we could work on it at home and like obviously get over that fear. But I realized I really struggle with like having to cause that fear to start with. Like, I know that like the fear is just there temporarily and then like it gets better once the horse understands. But always feel really bad when like I'm the one inflicting the fear onto the horse to make the behavior happen. But he tolerated it really well. I think it was because like we have a good relationship that, yes, the fear like helped him the first couple of times, but I also went really slow and like helped him show him like, hey, you don't have to be scared of this, but I do want you to do that thing, that high energy thing again.
but you don't have to be scared about this. And I think the food really helped with that because I was able to like kind of mark and reward certain things. So yeah, I think he did really, really well. We did some round pen work. We've never done round pen work before in my life. Like we use a reverse round pen. If I'm going out to teach something, like it's just easier for me in the way that I train to use a reverse round pen, because I'm like, all right, going out to do some long and low, like I want this exact behavior and I get that straight away. Whereas the Liberty work is a lot different, and especially if you're teaching Liberty with like negative reinforcement. And so we did some round pen work, and my God, it hurt my brain so much. It hurt my brain so much. Tarek seemed to respond quite well to it though. I'm definitely going to play around with it. But again, it was a lot of like, initially I had to be like, make him a little bit stressed, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I mean, that was all less than like 5 minutes, maybe a couple of minutes of him being unsure and a bit stressed, and then him sort of figuring it out. And I think because we have that relationship and he is a clicker trained horse, he's really good at figuring out the answer really quickly. Like we'd never done side passes before. We were doing side passes over logs within like a couple of minutes with negative reinforcement, but also me marking, rewarding to give him the information that this is what we're doing. And yes, you've got the right answer. We just had to keep going as long as I got the whip out. And then when the limit goes away, then that is like your release. I'll also give him a reward. So negative reinforcement and positive reinforcement at the same time, kind of. So I think that's why he did so well. But there were some horses there that were quite stressed, and just as typical, like as most horse people will deal with it, you know, it's they're stubborn, being rude, disrespectful. But you're gonna get that at every clinic, really. Like that's a lot of how the mindset still is, and that sort of stuff like just really hurts me a little bit every time I hear it. I'm just like, oh no, he's just really stressed. Like Josh is super knowledgeable, so he used to tour around the US with one of the Dans, Dan James, I think. I'm doing Liberty shows, so he knows his shit. He's very good at it, especially with negative reinforcement. But I just wouldn't do it exactly the way he does it, because my training is slightly different. But he was very open to like treats, using treats, was fine with that. Like I didn't really make a big thing about it. I just kind of like would reinforce them every now and then. And when we did the round yard stuff, he actually asked me like, okay, well, what do you usually do? And I was like, he's like, because we can just work with that. And I'm like, well, honestly, we don't do anything in the round yard. So we just started from scratch. We just did what he would do, which was a super good learning curve and was really interesting. And I was very impressed by how Tarek reacted to it. And I definitely see the strengths and how definitely you can use it with positive reinforcement, like, and get even better results with it. Well, that was really cool, but it hurt my brain so much. It was just a really good experience for us to be out, both of us outside of our comfort zones, learning something new together, because like I'm not that great at negative reinforcement because I don't use it that much, and he doesn't really know it. So it was good. Like we were both very like new to it, and it worked really well. Like because we got that relationship, like he was fine. Like he learned everything straight away, like within the first couple of reps, and then would easily, happily do it, which was really cool. Compared to some horses that were having meltdowns. Oh my God, it's getting cold. I'm getting really cold.
Good night. I'll see you guys in the morning. Hopefully I don't freeze to death. So I actually didn't take into account the fact that the float is actually completely open at the back, which means that I woke up covered in dew and very cold and wet. But it didn't rain, so I didn't get rained on. So that's a bonus.
It's so cold. Hey, baby. Good morning. Is that yummy?
So I forgot my hairbrush, so this is a horse brush that I'm using for my hair, and no, it was not very effective at all, so I do not recommend. And after breakfast, Tarek wanted to go for a walk, so I let him just like lead the way because he loves exploring. I was so impressed by the fact that he wanted to go and explore all the scary things.
He's so brave. Come on, we gotta go. We can't keep exploring. Come on. Pony, let's go. Maybe we can explore in the lunch break, okay?
Then it's back to reality, time to go home.
Watch my feet, because I've got my
Good boy. Back.
on. Good job. Good boy.
Back up.
Hello, everybody.
Hello everybody! So we just got back from the clinic. I've just let Tarek out into the big paddock and I think he's about to have a big old roll. Yeah, there we go. So it was very, very fun, very, very valuable. I learned so much, so many things that I can apply to our training, and he did really well with like a lot of the just sold negative reinforcement stuff too, which was really cool. I'm definitely going to be like incorporating the like Liberty pressure and release stuff with like a training, because I think that is going to be like supercharge it, and so I'm super excited to do that. But I have to give him some time off now, so he's gonna get a couple of days off, and I might do some work with Aragon while I wait. Some of the Liberty stuff that we were practicing, just playing around with it. It's kind of like a different language because I'm not used to like negative reinforcement, so it is quite challenging. So I need as much practice as I can get really on how to do it efficiently and ethically as well, because I can use treats with it. So got to figure out how to do that, which I think I've pretty much already got it figured out in my head. I just need to go out and do it and see if it works. So yeah, it was a super valuable clinic. I had a lot of fun, and I think Tarek really enjoyed it too. He did really, really well, like really rose to the challenge every single time. And he even overthought things a little bit. We played this game where we had to trot the horses down between these cones, and the cones would get smaller and smaller and smaller, and whoever got through all of them and didn't get eliminated, like whoever was last standing got a prize. And we were up to the last two, and he just accidentally went outside instead of like through, so we were out. But when I first took him down just to practice it, he was like, what? And he got really confused, and then he tried to side pass all of them. So he was like side passing it, and I'm like, no buddy, you just have to go through them, like you don't have to overthink it. But that's like just what he did the whole time. He was just like really just like tried his absolute best to figure out what it is that I wanted him to do. So yeah, super proud of him.
Are you a happy boy?
Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.